afternoon, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have an interesting quadcopter for you today. This is the AEE Sparrow. Looking at the Sparrow, it's one of these cage drones. It's intended for indoor use, but you can also use it outdoor. I'm going to be flying outdoors. It does have brushless motors. This is a brushless motor drone, folks. But what's so special about it? Well, it is a selfie drone. It comes with a 1080p camera, but that 1080p camera can record in 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, or 120 frames per second. Now, I am going to be using 30 frames per second, folks, because it gets intensive on YouTube for me to upload 120 frames per second video, but it's capable of doing such. Now, look on the front of this camera. You can see little LED lights. So it also has these LED flash bulbs here for if you want to be flying and taking photos in dim light. It can do such. But if you are flying in dim light, there is an issue that you have to be aware of, in that this holds its position automatically in space, but it uses an optical flow sensor to do such. There is no GPS in this quadcopter. This looks down at the ground and maintains its position by looking down at the ground. That's how it works, folks. With that in mind, though, it gets in the air very easily. Okay, you don't have to wait for satellite lock on. It's ready to go out of the box, but you do need sufficient light on the ground and sufficient texture on the ground to be able for this camera to distinguish, its position and maintain its position by looking at the ground. Now, the camera can swivel up and down. It has a little swivel on it, so you can do such. But it also has, this quadcopter also has, if you notice, these little windows here. And it has two here, two here, two here, and two of those little windows here. These are obstacle avoidance sensors, folks. Infrared obstacle avoidance sensors. Now, these work mainly indoors. Outdoors, they're not going to work very well at all, okay, because of the sun. Sun creates interference to these little windows, but indoors, these should work very well. So when you're flying indoors, taking video and photos, this will help prevent this quadcopter from bumping into the wall and bumping into furniture. It has, with those obstacle avoidance sensors. On the back, with these obstacle avoidance sensors in the back, you see, we also have a micro USB port, or SD card reader and a micro USB port. This thing here, I think, is for updating the firmware, and your micro SD card goes in here to record this SD video. You can record, it actually records to the card, and if you want to get it on your phone, you can download the video from the card via Wi-Fi to your phone. But I don't think this actually records directly to your phone like other Wi-Fi FPV flyers. It needs this card to record, if I believe, or if I understand correctly. Now, this does not come with a controller. This is controlled strictly through an app on your phone. So this is a Wi-Fi FPV flyer. Uses 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi FPV, which means we're not going to be flying this very far. I don't think you should be flying it very far with the phone anyways. This is mainly a selfie bird. So you're going to probably be keeping this in close. And we're going to demonstrate it here shortly. Now, one other thing I forgot to mention, this comes with a very nice traveling carry case. So you can put your Sparrow inside there. You get an extra battery. I got an extra battery at least. This is your charger. It is a proprietary battery. The battery size is 7.4 volt, 1200 milliamp hour. 1200 milliamp hour battery. It also comes with this nice instruction guide, except most of the print is very small. So as older folks are going to have a hard time reading it. But it comes in many different languages. So there's almost certain, for most countries, you'll be able to understand it. And finally, inside here, if you break the plastic cage, they have a aluminum alloy cage that you can put on top as a replacement. So you get a replacement cage too in this carrying case. So let's fire this up, attach it to the app, and see how it performs. So I hope you enjoy this flight. This is the battery. Again, it just plugs in. You take one of your batteries, plug it in. You'll hear the ESCs fire up right away. And to turn it on, you have to press this button here and hold it down. And then let go. And it should be ready to fly. I hear the beep. The next thing we do is open up the app. And let's fire up the app and see how it performs. Okay, this is the AEE Zone app used to control this quadcopter. Now, on the left-hand side here, you see you got a home button. The second button down is, I believe, headless mode. Third button down is takeoff. Fourth button down is turning off the avoidance sensor, the one with the diamond there with the exclamation point in the center, you can turn off that. And I am going to turn that off actually because we're outdoors, so we're not going to be needing that. And fourth button down, if you press it, you can select between motion play using your phone, joystick mode, and what's that, close mode? Okay, we're going to use joystick mode here. Let me make sure I got that, or joystick, there we go. And the other one was, come on, stop that. Let's press that again, motion, so you use the G sensor control. But we are going to use joystick mode. And we're going to start, and in the lower right corner, you can go selfie mode, but you got to be in the air to use that. That's that circle down there. But I am going to start recording, 30 frames per second. And recording has started. And in the lower left corner is our takeoff button. Those two little, looks like paper airplanes beside each other, but we press that button and it will take off. And we'll see how well it holds its position. We're going to go up a bit higher. And I'm going to get in the picture and say, how do you like my shirt today, folks? Okay, I can see it. It's working. Now, I'm going to take a photo. I want to take a quick photo. We're going to switch from video mode to photo mode. And there's the photo mode right there. And I'm going to take a picture. There's also a timer delay, and each time I take a picture, notice that it, let me get a little closer here. Okay, and we're going to come back out of photo mode and then go into 360 degree video mode. It's going to, I'm going to go up, actually go up a little higher before I do that. Let's go back to camera. I want video camera, and we're going to go up higher to right about there, and then we're going to go out. Which way's the front on this thing? Where's that camera? I'm looking for the camera, folks. Okay, pushing forward, pulling back. I'm confused which way's front. But we're going to go over here and then hit this rotate button. Hitting the camera one more time. Actually, starting the video first. Hitting the camera one more time. Let's hit that camera. It's not taking my input. I guess you got to be out of that. I shouldn't be recording. Now hit 360 degree video. And then hit record. There we go. What it does is it will rotate. But it seems to drift while it does that. So I'm going to come out of that. It drifts when it does that 360 degree video, folks. I'm waiting for it to stop rotating. And there. So when it does that 360 video, man, I don't know, folks. It kind of drifts. Okay, let's push forward. Which way's forward? Thinks that way's forward, so I'm going to turn this way and push forward. We'll go back out into the field. So keep that in mind. I guess that 360 is mainly meant for indoor flying. Very slow flyer. I got a little bit of a breeze, so yeah, I guess this is mainly meant for indoor flying. But we're going to take it back out into the field again. Now, the back end is pointed toward me, and the front end is the other side away from the camera, so keep that in mind since this is a and it's saying the battery's low. So what I'm going to do, and I want to show you folks, is we're going to hit land. And once it lands, we're going to give it a, I'm going to go back to the pad with it, and we'll let it, let that battery rest. Okay, let it sit for a second. Unfortunately, that was its flight time. I guess the second battery wasn't fully charged. And notice you get this blinking light. I guess this blinking light is also warning you that you have low battery power. So that is the flight of the AEE Sparrow. That is the flight time you get with AEE Sparrow per battery. And I'm sorry I guess I did not fully charge the second battery. I thought I did before I left the house, but I guess I didn't. But we'll see how the video came out. You know, it's post-test video. But again, this is mainly intended for indoor flight, to be able to do selfie videos in the house, okay, and it was well protected to do such. Outdoors, not so much. It has I have a little bit of a breeze today, and it was having a hard time fighting it. So, again, AEE Sparrow. Hope you enjoyed this flight. It's Quadcopter 101, signing out.